So we finally received an update or a patch for the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. Now, before I get into these, I'm going to read out every single one of these different segments, and I'll offer my thoughts on them if applicable. I've been playing Oblivion for 20 years, and this remaster is even more broken than the original game. This game has bugs that the original Oblivion didn't even have, but they are finally addressing it. I want to make clear as well that there are going to be two major patches. This is update 1.1. There's another patch, as it says here. It says we are actively working on two separate updates to be launched in the coming weeks, both of which will be coming to Steam Beta first. So I also wanted to make very clear that you need to be using Steam Beta, which is very easy to do. There's instructions at the bottom on how to do that if you don't know, but I assume you do know if you're a PC player. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So first of all, general updates. Enable TOG HUD visibility and show HUD console commands. That's great. If you want to have screenshots, if you want to take images in the game, you can remove the HUD with a basic console command. Somebody made a mod that disables the HUD if you wanted to do that, but you don't need to do that anymore because they've added it in the console commands. UI, fix for missing text when installing the Deluxe upgrade. Not an issue I ever had, but I'm assuming some people did have that, but it's a fix. Fix skip button not showing correctly during intro. I actually did notice that the first time playing it. It's for skipping the intro cutscene, the pre-rendered cutscene, and I thought that you couldn't skip it despite me pressing the button. Fix for Redguard origin stats being reversed. I don't actually know what that means by that, unless they mean that the each of the original origins that you can pick for playing as the Redguard race were the other way around, or like they had different stats depending on which you picked, and they got them the wrong way around. I will be honest with you, I didn't even notice that, and I am playing as a Redguard character. I didn't even notice that, but they've fixed it, so that's good. What's said in the UI, fix for not automatically showing local map when inside interior spaces. This is great because one of the biggest problems I've had with this, and a lot of people with the new UI, is in order to look at the local map, you have to zoom in on the world map, which is baffling that they decided to do that, because in the original Oblivion, the local map has its own dedicated tab, its own dedicated button. At least now, if you enter an interior, it will automatically show the interior. That is a fantastic change. This is a step in the right direction, even if it's not a huge, massive thing. Fix for being unable to name enchanted items when using a controller. This is also great because I play with a controller on PC. This game obviously has full keyboard and mouse support, but I prefer using a controller. It is kind of annoying that you have to select it and then use the keyboard. It reminds me of what it's like on the original Oblivion, the original version of the game. That's a really, really excellent change. Love that. Fix punctuation in Chinese translation. That means nothing to me. Localized string fixes. I have no idea what that means. I'm not going to lie to you. I do not know what they mean by that. If somebody does know, just let me know in the comments. Fix for interacting with Daedric shrines not displaying subtitles. That's pretty good. It's not insanely important, but it is obviously important. Basically, when you go to a Daedric shrine and you talk to the Daedric lord or goddess, whatever, and there's a voiceover when they're speaking to you, there were no subtitles for what they were saying, but they've now added that. That was in the original game. Pretty simple, easy fix. I'm glad they've done that. Crashes. This is a colossally massive problem with this game. This game crashes a lot. It's being run through Unreal Engine 5, and I used to use Unreal Engine 4. I used to develop games using Unreal 4. Haven't tinkered much with Unreal 5, but I can say this, Unreal 5 and 4, to be honest, are staggeringly poorly optimized, and most games built in them run like garbage. In regards to crashes, Oblivion is a 20-year-old game that's being run through a current day engine that is shaky as at best as it is. So you've got Oblivion being Oblivion in combination with being run through Unreal Engine. It crashes even more than the original did. I used to play Oblivion on Xbox 360 and PC on a garbage laptop that could barely run it, and it crashed less than this. I'll just jump through a bunch of these because a lot of them are just for various things. Fix crash when you fast travel to Vilverin, which is a elven ruin. Fix a crash exploring the Crayfish Cave. Stunted Scamps. I don't need to read all of these out. These are just different locations that will no longer crash according to this update, this patch. Fix various CPU crashes. Fix crash when creating multiple potions at once using stolen ingredients. This is really, really good that they are actively, specifically focusing on crashes that are happening in very specific situations. That's great. It'll probably still crash after this, and there's probably other instances that they haven't accounted for, but they are addressing the crashes. I'm just going to say it now. I'm surprised I didn't really say it before. Very disappointed that they're not addressing the performance issues, but I'm assuming that'll be in the second update that they've said about, because there's going to be another patch. Gameplay. This would be very interesting stuff here. Fix player animation issues when mounting horses. I haven't really seen any, but I know some people have, and it obviously is a problem, and they're going to sort that when getting onto a horse. I haven't really had any animation issues. Fix High Chancellor Akato arms not animating. That's hilarious. Very funny to me, but it's good that they're fixing it, obviously. Fix Shambles animations getting stuck when attacking. Obviously, that'll be much better for player feedback, so you can see the attacks that are happening from Shambles. Fix for Staff of Sheogorath not freezing animes. That's obviously very important if you're someone who uses Staff of Sheogorath, you want it to actually function as it should, so that's good. Fix for Captain Dougal not spawning. Now, the cove, the pirate cove, the safe house, whatever, that you can go to. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, right? I literally use it all the time, but Captain Dougal not spawning, that's a very, very weird thing. And I haven't seen that, but some people have seen that. I've seen people report that on like Reddit or whatever, but he has spawned for me, but obviously that's a fantastic fix. Fix for light spells not showing VFX. That, yeah, obviously player feedback, so you can clearly see it. Fix for offset map markers when running on a secondary monitor. I'm only running it on one monitor. I do have two monitors. I've got dual monitor setup, but I'm only running it on the main monitor. Fix for local map being blank when opening. I've never seen that personally, but I'm glad they're fixing that, obviously. Fix Puriate Shrine's voiceover being cut off. Haven't been to that Daedric Shrine yet. Fix for first-person camera being set above the player's head. Thank goodness they fixed that, because I've seen so many people complain about this. That is a very, very excellent fix. Fix for Chameleon. Oh, no, before I carry on, sorry. Fix for first-person camera being... I also hope that they fix the fact that your player character is the same height, even if you're playing as a wood elf. They're supposed to be really, really short. Even if you're playing as a wood elf, they are way too tall and it looks stupid. That'll be the next thing to sort out. Right. Fix for Chameleon VFX being stuck on player. Yeah, this is a huge one for me because I have 5 different characters. One of my characters is a stealth character, as a Khajiit, and I've spam blink and invisibility spells, whatever, and the VFX are completely broken for Chameleon. I'm very, very glad they're fixing that. I'm colossally glad, because that's really annoying and really distracting. It's also bad visual feedback because you can't really tell if you have the invisibility on you or not, Chameleon effect on you or not. Fix for player skin texture not matching when infected with a disease. That's not a massively huge problem, I will say, but I'm glad they've addressed it. System, fix player settings being reset when updating settings. That's actually really good, because that's annoying. Fix xCloud mirroring settings from PC to Xbox. I don't use xCloud, that means nothing to me, but those who do use it, that's good news for them. Fix for infinite loading issues. This is a massive, massive, massive thing, because literally before I started making this video, I was just playing the game naturally, and you get stuck in loading screens at random, it seems. You go through a door or you leave your player house. It happens very frequently when you're leaving like a player-owned house. You get stuck in a loading screen, and it's really, really, really annoying. Some people have said that they've uninstalled the game because they're that annoyed by this. Fix for freezing when pressing Alt-Tab. I haven't Alt-Tabbed out that much, but I do it sometimes, and I haven't had this, but that's good. Obviously, fix auto-saving and creating a new group of saves. Oh, okay, so, yeah, so like making like a whole new set of saves on that character. Fix for old save files being renamed when the character is renamed at the sewer exit. That's not a hugely important thing, but fair enough. That's good that they've done it, I guess. Fix for small display resolution sizes not showing correctly in windowed mode. So I play in 1440p. So those who do have lower resolution monitors, 1080p, or maybe even if you're playing on a 720p monitor, which some of you might be, that's something there. Final segment now, quests. The battle for Kvatch. Fix Salvian becoming stuck after the castle courtyard fight. That can happen. I've seen people complain about this, so that's good. A Knife in the Dark. This is a classic one. Now, I say classic, this game's been out for like 2 months. Fix for Vincente losing his hair. This is a very funny thing. Initially, deadly serious, I thought that him being bald was intentional. I thought they just because they've redesigned all of the characters. Glathia has a beard now, so I wouldn't put it past them to give Vincente no hair. But apparently that was actually a bug. He is meant to have hair, and they fixed that. That's good. Finding the Thieves Guild. Fix for NPCs not appearing. That is a fantastic fix because that's quite literally game breaking if you are unable to start the quest. You know, you need to speak to a member of the Thieves Guild or like a little beggar or whatever so you can begin. The Sunken one. Fix for a diary page being hidden under a bowl. Can't say I've had an issue with this, but that's a funny descriptor and what have you. And finally, the Elven Maiden. Fix for a crash when Hieronymus Lex attempts to take Lathash's bust out of the cupboard in Mavana's house. I wasn't aware that it can crash, but apparently it does, so they fixed that, so that's obviously good. Just for those who don't know, but some of you might not know, but most of you probably do, I'm just going to read out how to update in Steam Beta. It's very, very easy. All you have to do is open Steam Library, navigate to Oblivion, right-click on Oblivion, then select Properties, then in the Properties pop-up window, select Betas. I'll even show you it. It's easy. I've got it in my favorites. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. You go Properties, and you go Betas, and then you click here. And when it's available, it'll just be on here. You click Betas. That's literally all you have to do. It's very easy. And that is the full update list. This is update 1.1. There are some good fixes in here. I think like the local map is good. The fact that they've fixed Chameleon, that's a huge thing for me because I use invisibility or Chameleon spells quite a lot. The fact that they fixed quests is a fantastic thing. Like some issue, like this crash sounds really bad. This is really bad as well, the Battle for Kvatch one. If he gets stuck, that's kind of like a game-breaking bug there. Also, the crashes, that's a massive thing for me. So they have done some good stuff here. Some things were, like, in my opinion, like unnecessary. Like things that no one really cared that much about, I think. Like, not that many people will be playing on a super low resolution, I don't think. Skin texture's not matching that. I don't really care about that, if I'm honest. Fix for light spells not showing VFX. I didn't even really notice that, if I'm honest. But like, there is some decent stuff in here. They've addressed the crashes. There's nothing about improving the game's performance here. But like I say, there will be a second update. Very cool that they are actually addressing it. This game's kind of like, I'm surprised it's taken them this long to do a patch, but I will say it does take a lot of dev time to fix the issues and to figure out what the problems are. It does take time. Just want to take that into account and consideration. But yeah, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think of these updates? Which do you think is the best update? Because I would say the local map is really good, and the fixing some of the visual, like VFX, is pretty good. Well, some of them is good. Also, they fixed some game-breaking issues as well, which is very good. Let me know what you think. That's me. I'm out. See ya.